everybody, I'm Miriam, and I'm doing this edition of Not Oprah's Book Club. I'm stepping in for Courtney because I just read a book that I really wanted to talk about. The book I'm going to talk about today is Sarah Dessen's Along for the Ride. It just came out last week, and it's a young adult fiction novel. This is Sarah. Hi, Sarah. So I've actually been reading Sarah Dessen's books since high school because she came and did a reading at my public high school library when I was still there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And it turns out actually Sarah is from Chapel Hill and went to my high school. And so that was a really fun connection. So I started reading her books then. She's actually since then written 8 young adult fiction novels. This is her latest, and she's been really, really successful. This book was actually, I think, a New York Times bestseller last week. 2 of her books were combined and made into a Mandy Moore movie a few years ago called How to Deal. So she's really great, a really, really great author, and I like her books. I'm really into young adult fiction and have been for a long time, so it's fun to get to talk about it. So this particular book, like I said, is the 8th in her repertoire, and this book is about a young girl named Auden, who, when we meet her, has just graduated from high school, and is spending the summer living with her father in a beach town in North Carolina. Her parents are divorced. Her mom is an academic, kind of overachieving academic parent, and Auden is kind of this overachieving, really smart, intellectual type who spent most of her high school really dedicated to her books and not doing a lot of kind of young social things. And it's kind of grown up a little bit too fast, seemingly partially because of her parents' divorce. So anyways, Auden is spending the summer living in this small beach town in North Carolina, Colby, where with her father, her new stepmother, and her new sister-in-law. Her new half-sister, who's just been born a baby. So that's sort of where the book places us. And it's a really great story of kind of self-discovery and Auden kind of finding more about her social side and preparing to make this transition to college, and also just kind of growing up. It's a sweet story. I really enjoyed it. I love all of Sarah's books. This is actually the 9th. I've read all 9 of her books. And the main characters are always really smart, interesting, and dynamic women. So I think that's a really kind of feminist part of Sarah's books, and I really appreciate that in young adult fiction. I think they're good role models for young girls. Sarah also does a good job of kind of touching on harder issues, things like divorce. In this book, there's been previous books about partner violence, so like a girl and her boyfriend suffering from domestic violence. She talks about teen pregnancy, all sorts of different kind of hard issues. So I appreciate that she takes on real life things and makes them accessible to women. My main kind of disappointment about her books has been that none of the main characters, or any of the characters that I've seen, have been not straight, so lesbian or bisexual, or even struggling with sexuality. I think that would really add a lot to me. I mean, I would be really excited to see that in one of her books. Also, there's not a lot of racial diversity. Almost all of her characters, I think, are white. So that's another thing that has been a bit a disappointment. So Sarah, if you're watching this, I would love to see some more diversity in your upcoming books. So the only other thing that I think has been a criticism of her books for me is that while she has these really strong female protagonists in all of her books, the way that they find themselves, kind of their path to self-discovery, always includes a guy, always includes a boyfriend or a love interest. And while the boyfriend isn't like the knight in shining armor who like runs in and saves the day, he's a part of her self-discovery. He sort of helps her along her path, and so I've been a little bit critical of that kind of plot line reoccurring in a lot of Sarah's books, but I think she's a fantastic writer, and I would definitely recommend checking out her recent book. If you read it or go ahead and read it, please leave your thoughts in the comments.